Hey everybody, welcome back. Today we'll be making beef empanadas, so let's get started. For your dough, you will need 4 cups of flour, 1 cup of shortening, 1/4 teaspoon of salt, 2 teaspoons of baking powder, and 1 cup of water. Okay, so here I have my flour, my baking powder, and I also have some salt and my water. You are going to add in your baking powder and your salt. Okay, you're gonna mix those together. And then I have some shortening. What we're gonna do is we're going to cut it into the flour. You could use a pastry blender, which works the best, but I just used a fork and a knife, which also works perfectly. And you're just going to cut it in the flour. You're also going to gradually add your water and keep cutting the shortening until it starts to form a crumby mixture, just like this. I finished adding all my water, and now you're going to knead the dough with your hands. Just knead it a couple of times, and if it's too sticky, you can go ahead and add some flour to make it more workable. For your filling, you're going to need 1 pound of ground beef, half a cup chopped onion, 2 garlic cloves minced, 1 teaspoon ground mustard, half a teaspoon ground pepper, half a teaspoon garlic powder, half a teaspoon adobo seasoning, half a teaspoon oregano, half a teaspoon salt, 1.5 cups of pasta sauce, and half a cup of water. As you can see, I just chopped my onion, and this is about half a cup, and we're going to mince our garlic cloves as well, and you're going to set this aside. We have a skillet on the heat. We're going to add about a tablespoon of oil, and to this we're going to add our garlic and our onions. And you're going to saute these about 2 to 3 minutes until translucent. I've let these saute, and now I'm going to add in my ground beef. And I'm going to break that up as well. And while I'm mixing that, I'm going to season my beef. And the seasoning is just the spices that were listed in the beginning. And here is my ground beef, all browned. Once it's browned, you want to add in your pasta sauce. Any kind you'd like. I just used the regular spaghetti sauce. And you're also going to add in your water. And you're going to bring this to a simmer for about 10 minutes. And once it starts to simmer, it is ready to go. So I floured a cutting board. I placed my dough and I kneaded it a couple of times. And I'm gonna use a rolling pin and I'm going to roll it out about 1/4 inch thick so we can cut our shapes and make our empanadas. So I started using off a circle cookie cutter and I realized it was too small. So I started using a cup and I realized that was a little bit too small as well. So then I used a knife and I just cut out bigger circles according to how big I wanted them. And once your circles are ready, you're just going to flatten them out with your rolling pin. Okay, add your meat mixture. Depending on how big your dough is, you're going to stuff these. And I like to give it about 2 tablespoons of filling depending on how big your dough is. And you're going to take the sides and fold them over and press. And you're going to take a fork and you're going to go ahead and press on the dough sides. These kind of look like dumplings. Make sure you flour your fork so it doesn't stick to the dough. So I had an electric fryer and I put about 1/4 inch of oil. And you're going to fry these. They usually took like 2 to 3 minutes on each side. And make sure you flip them because they will burn. So here's my finished product. I served them with sour cream and some green jarred salsa. These were delicious. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed the video and give me a thumbs up if you did.